Hi, welcome back. I'm Philippe Lunstad, your insurance guru, and the reason I'm known as the insurance guru is because I'm going to show you all the tips, the tricks, the strategies, and the secrets at the insurance companies they don't want you to know. So let's go ahead and talk about video number 2. I want to thank you for watching video number 1. And if you haven't seen that video yet, make sure that you watch video number 1 where we covered everything on Medicare Parts A and Part B. Let's talk about the next piece of original Medicare that you need to know about, and that's Medicare Part D. And these are prescription drug programs, or PDPs. Now, I'm a Marine, so we love our acronyms. PDP is Prescription Drug Plan, and these plans cover prescription drugs, and they are provided by private insurance companies that are approved by Medicare. It's important to understand that these companies are approved by Medicare, not endorsed by Medicare. So with Medicare Prescription Part D programs, or PDPs, there are going to be premiums involved with these programs, and they will vary by plan, but the average is right around $33 here in the United States in order for you to get a prescription drug program. Now, with these prescription drug plans, not only are there premiums, but there are also deductibles, and these deductibles could be as high as $545. Now, some plans waive it, or they apply it to just specific tiers and not all the drugs. Let me give you an example of that. Sometimes these deductibles are going to go towards things like your name brand drugs, or your tier 3 and tier 4 medications, which are our name brands. You're going to pay them one time, and once you pay it, it is satisfied for the year and for all subsequent tiers. So you don't have to pay it every single time that you're going to the pharmacist. Let's talk about cost phases. There are very specific phases that exist within these prescription drug plans. Phase number 1 is what we just talked about, the deductible phase. And this is where you pay 100% of the cost until the deductible is met. So depending on your deductible is how much you're going to come out of pocket first before the insurance company starts to kick in. Once you get out of the deductible phase, you are moving from 1 to phase 2. Once you're in phase 2, this is what we call the ICP, which is the initial coverage phase. This is where you're going to pay copays and coinsurances for your prescription drugs. After you've hit the copay or coinsurance, that's your responsibility. The plan then covers the rest of the cost. These copays could be $3, $20, $100, and the coinsurances could be 5%, 10%, 30%. It all depends on the prescription drug plan that you choose. We help you do this. There's something important to understand. Like I said before in video 1, there was an act called the Inflation Reduction Act, which came out in 2024, and this act really changed the way that Medicare prescription drug plans were being handled. And what happened was they got rid of an entire phase that used to be called the donut hole, or the gap in coverage. What that really states is what the maximum out-of-pocket that you would be responsible for. So the max out-of-pocket for prescription drug plans is $2,000. And what that means is that your copays, your coinsurances, your deductibles, they all go towards that number. And if you hit that $2,000, you then fall into phase 3, which is catastrophic coverage. Catastrophic coverage begins when your out-of-pocket costs have reached $2,000. It's important to understand that if you're taking prescription drugs and they're very expensive, you may not have to pay for those every single month. There will come a time in the year where you cap at the $2,000, and then the insurance company kicks in and pays the remainder of that. That's called the catastrophic coverage. So remember, we have systems, we have ways of taking all of your prescription drugs and putting them into a software and showing you exactly what you're going to pay every single month, and break it down month by month, and then give you an annual cost of what you can expect. Now, once you get out of that catastrophic phase, you're going to stay in that forever, which means that your drug costs will keep getting paid for the majority between insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies, and the government. So all three of them are chipping in and paying for your drugs. You notice that you're taken out of that equation. So the government, the insurance, and the pharmaceutical companies are the ones that are paying for your drugs while you're in the catastrophic phase. So something important to remember is that IRMAA also exists for Medicare Part D. In the last video, video 1, we talked about IRMAA and how that affects your Medicare Part B premium, but it also affects your Medicare Part D premium. Remember, in video 1, we gave you access to an amazing IRMAA chart that lets you see what those changes would be. If you noticed in that IRMAA chart, we also have it for the cost of Medicare Part D as well, so you'll have complete clarity on what it's going to cost you based upon the income that you're making. So just to recap, Medicare Part D is something you definitely want, it's something you definitely need. So much so that the insurance companies report this information to the government, and if you don't take a prescription drug plan when you're eligible for it, like when you turn 65 and you're eligible for Medicare, you will be penalized 1% for every single month that you wait until you sign up for a program. And you may say, well, Philippe, what's the percentage of penalty of? It's a penalty of the average cost, which is $33. So 1% of $33 for every single month that you wait where you do not have credible coverage. And what is credible coverage? Credible coverage is if you're still working and you have prescription drug programs through your employer or through your group insurance. Or maybe you're self-insured and you have a prescription drug plan. Or maybe you're on CHAMP VA or TRICARE for Life and you're getting help from the VA to pay for prescription drugs. No matter what, reach out to us. Allow us to help you and use your personal situation and run it through our software so we can tell you exactly what you're going to be paying in IRMAA, exactly what your cost would be if you decide to take a prescription drug program. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, click on the link, book a call with us if you have any questions whatsoever, and make sure you look at the IRMAA chart that's attached.